Welcome to Catharsis. Now we all know that action is about conflict, whether with guns, blades, fists, or mysterious powers. Action manhwas have some insane storylines to say the least, and they contain a lot of entertainment for those willing to read them. The manhwas that I'm going to list in this video features characters in combat, either to protect themselves or the things or people they value, or simply as a way of life. In this video, I'm going to list 10 must-read action manhwas.
I'm coming for the throne.
Number 10. Weak Hero. In a school run by tyrants whose favorite hobby is tormenting the weakest kids in class, the transfer student Gray arrives. A hard-working student that studies a lot and looks like someone who could literally faint from a single punch. But as small and fragile as he may look, his calculative and unconventional method of fighting threatens to dismantle the established order within the school. Now the toughest bullies scramble to take down this mysterious transfer student as he slowly rises to fame and reach the top of the rankings in a school overrun by tyrants. Overall, this is a great manhwa. All the characters get development and it really fleshes out the world. Fight scenes are great and the art is decent. It's just an all-around great read. Jagan. This manga revolves around a police officer named Shintaro Jagasaki, who is convinced that he will lead a boring, average life, faking smiles day and night to please his peers and his wife. During one of his duties on a fine day, he encounters a human-turned beast and he soon discovers that he can shoot with his right hand like the mascot of his city that he admires. He is then met with an owl who then explains how these human-turned beasts will continue to appear and that Shintaro is supposed to kill every last one of them. The central theme of this manga are the possible consequences of suppressing one's desire. The action and momentum are clear and the panel composition makes the manga flow extremely smoothly, making it easy to read. Peerless Dad. The story follows Noga Jang, a martial artist who gets through his life challenges and not giving up at all. His journey includes lots of battles and along the way deals with marriage and fatherhood issues. This manhwa has a very unique plot. The artwork is pretty good and the characters are drawn very well, including the expressions they make. Overall, it will be an incredible journey for you if you're into stories that aren't much complex, that provide scope for action scenarios, and the main character is really likable as well. Go Sue. Gang Young, following the death of his mentor, a once powerful martial artist who was betrayed by his men and barely escaped with his life, decides to make it his life's purpose to avenge those that had wronged his master. But after his master's death, he found out that the people he was supposed to take revenge on have been dead for many years. Now with no one left to take revenge on, he begins his journey of finding a purpose in life as a dumpling boy, while being armed with his master's supreme martial art techniques. This manhwa is about revenge, martial art, and comedy. The comedy hits its mark sometimes and the martial art battles are sometimes on fire. And the story itself is different from any other martial art manhwa I've read. So if you're looking to see some insane fights with a bit of comedy, you should definitely check this one out. The Beginning After the End. This fantasy manhwa features our main character King Gray, who was a capable fighter and possessed a lot of wealth like a king should. But he died and got reincarnated into a world filled with magic and magical creatures as an infant called Arthur Lewin. In this mysterious new world that contains a lot of secrets waiting to be discovered, Gray is given a second chance to grow and relive his life as Arthur Lewin and correct the mistakes he made in his past life. Given this invaluable chance, young Arthur uses his knowledge from his previous life to grow stronger and protect those around him. As young Arthur relives his life in this new world, he accomplishes major feats and once again becomes a highly respected individual. Personally, I just can't get enough of this manhwa. The art is just simply amazing. The plot and character development is great. If you haven't read it yet, give it about 5 to 8 chapters, and if it's just not your cup of tea, you can drop it. The Legend of the Northern Blade. When the world was in chaos, martial artists gathered to form the Northern Heavenly Sect and defeated the Silent Knight and brought peace to the world again. As time passed, martial artists began to conspire against the Northern Heavenly Sect, which ended up in the death of the sect leader and the destruction of the Northern Heavenly Sect. Jin Muwan, who was the only son of the sect leader, was left behind without knowing any martial arts. But he eventually acquires the martial arts of the Northern Heavenly Sect that was hidden by his father. As our main character trains and endures all the humiliation, he gets stronger and more overpowered, and pay back all his enemies and traitors. Tower of God. Everyone lives, eats, and works in the Tower of God. Those who can fight their way to the top through the monsters and past the other contestants can achieve everything they desire. Whatever it may be, you can gain it by climbing the Tower of God. Bam has lived his entire life beneath the tower till one day he met a girl named Rachel, who taught him things he didn't know. Bam couldn't be happier, but Rachel wanted to climb the tower to fulfill her wish to see the star. Once again, alone in the darkness, Bam decides to climb the tower to find Rachel. As he climbs the tower, he meets new friends and experiences everything for the first time. The art in this manhwa is exceptional, the characters are well written and has great development. There's even an anime for it. So if you don't want to read the manga, you can go ahead and watch the anime. The God of High School. Our MC, Morijin, is an orphan that was adopted by his grandfather. All his life, Morijin was trained by his grandfather in the ways of Taekwondo. However, if viewed from an outsider's standpoint, Morijin's Taekwondo is unorthodox. Morijin is invited to a competition which seeks to determine the strongest martial arts style, with the prize being $1 million and a wish. Throughout the competition, Morijin gains allies and together they try to take the title of God of High School. This manhwa has some good characters with great personalities and development, and the storyline is great. But if I'm being totally honest here, I don't think the name fits this manhwa at all, because it has literally nothing to do with high school. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Lookism. Hyung-suk, being bullied because of being fat and unattractive, gets his life turned around completely after waking up in a perfectly healthy and attractive body. He realizes through his newly found body how society truly torments him, how people are two-faced as they are in real life. Lookism pulls out the dirty truth about discrimination in our society, where we view people based upon first look and assign them a certain status. Now tall, handsome, and cooler than ever before in his new form, Daniel aims to achieve everything he couldn't before. Fights break out a lot in this manhwa at every new interval, so you definitely won't get bored while reading this one. You should definitely check it out. At number 1 on our list is Solo Leveling. Now for those of you who are addicted to manhwa, or if you've at least heard about manhwas, you would definitely know Solo Leveling, even if you've never read it before. It's admired all over the world, and so it definitely deserves the number 1 spot on this list. This manhwa takes place in a world where gates appear out of nowhere, and humans with special abilities called hunters enter these gates and fight monsters. Our main character, Hunter Song Jin-woo, is considered the weakest among E-class hunters. But that all changes when he completed a secret quest and became the world's greatest hunter, after he was reawakened and became a player. If you haven't read this yet, I highly recommend it. It will blow your mind away. The fights are just amazing, and both the art and storyline are exceptional. It's a must read. Now we've come to the end of the video. Now the manhwas that I've listed in this video are based on my own opinion, and not everybody will agree with this list, and that's totally okay. So if you enjoyed the video and want to get updates whenever I post a new video, don't be afraid to smash that subscribe button as hard as you can and turn on notifications. And see you in the next video.